All right. We already did this once and it didn't turn out. So let's try it again.
Take two.
Take two. Oh, you remember the old,
I know,
the
yes.
old things like cut. All right,
Yeah.
take two. Up.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. So this is another edition of Cores in Kentucky, which we have not done in a while.
No.
This is going to refer to the new
Proposed.
proposal by the FMCSA or to the FMCSA for new hours of service regulations, which are an atrocity, if you ask me. But anyway, we'll go over it and give you some kind of idea as to what goes on. I did not bring an ashtray. Where are my cigarettes?
I'm going.
All right. So the FMCSA is proposing a new hours of service regulations. No longer do they want the 14-hour, they're proposing a 16-hour limit on working for truck drivers. 16 hours instead of 14 hours. Extending your working hours by 2 hours. They're also giving you an option to split your driving time and rest time so that you can be properly rested and avoid congestion or adverse weather conditions, traffic, so on and so forth. So, another proposal is that they're going to allow a 30-minute break to be done within the first 11 hours of driving instead of on duty altogether. So let's go over some of this. We have done some calculations,
Yeah.
and you know, company drivers might agree with this proposal, and I believe it's Chris Spears and the ATA that has proposed it because it's absolutely asinine. So I'm pretty sure he had something to do with it. I wouldn't doubt if Miss Cruz from New York was in there too somewhere because she's just loopy. All right, so let's give you a scenario. You have a 7 o'clock appointment at Walmart.
Okay.
You wake up at 5. You slept at the truck stop all night long. You wake up at 5. Wake up, you scratch your head, you scratch your ass, and do your supposed pre-trip. I know most of you company drivers, Swift, Werner, Prime, England, you don't do a pre-trip. You just wake up, scratch your head, and start the truck and take off.
Go on.
Don't lie to me either, because that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 5 o'clock you wake up, you do your
Pre-trip.
supposed pre-trip.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first you got to get your stuff together. You got to get your coffee. You got to, do everything. So 5:45, you do your supposed pre-trip.
Yeah.
15 minutes is the required amount to do a pre-trip. 6 o'clock, you take off. Go to your 7 o'clock appointment. Now you sit at Walmart for 4 hours waiting to get loaded. I said Walmart because I know Walmart for a fact. And Walmart will make you wait 4 hours before anything's done. And yes, I'm throwing names out there because they need to be called out. These are the bad places.
Yeah.
All right, so you get to Walmart at 7 o'clock, and they make you wait 4 hours to get loaded. Even though the truck is loaded 2 hours beforehand. And I know that's been done too. Yeah, be loaded, but they'll leave you sitting at the dock for an extra 2 hours, won't they? Yeah, they will. I know it. All right. So you've got I hate these new fucking
Cigarettes.
FSC cigarettes, you know? Another thing I'm pissed off about the government. Why couldn't you leave my goddamn cigarettes alone? I was happy with the fucking burning cigarettes. Gotta make them go out. Fire safety cigarettes. Yeah.
That's for when your kids are smoking. That way they don't.
Why are you trying to babysit? Your government needs to step the fuck off and mind their own goddamn business, you know? Next thing you know, we won't have the back seats in cars because too many kids are dying in the back seat, you know?
Okay.
But you never hear about a kid dying in the back seat of a freezing car, do you?
No, you don't.
Ah.
There's no forgotten kids in the winter.
That's kind of curious, isn't it?
It's 'cause
Come on.
all the parents want to kill their kids.
Yeah.
That's why they leave them in the hot cars in the summer.
Remember Arsenio Hall? Things that make you go, Yeah. How come no kids are dying in freezing cars, but they're all dying in hot cars? Anyway.
You've sat for 4 hours. It's 11 o'clock. We went off on a different tangent.
It's 11 o'clock now. Now, because the FMCSA has allowed you to work 16 hours instead of 14 hours, you have how many hours of driving?
11.
We've already driven 1 hour over to the receiver, the
You sat
shipper.
for 4.
Sat for 4. That's 5 hours.
You still have 11.
That means you have 11 hours of driving time done left. So, as a company like Werner, let's throw those names out there again. Werner, C.R.England, CRST,
Swift.
Prime, Swift. Now, how are they going to feel about you cutting out early? No. They're going to say, you have 11 hours driving time left. Come on, slave. Ha! Get moving. You got 11 hours left.
Pretty much.
Ah. Now, that's not including time for fueling up, time for stopping for the restroom, time for stopping to eat.
You're going to have a 30-minute break in there somewhere.
Gotta have a 30-minute break in there somewhere. That's at least an hour, maximum of 2 hours. If you're efficient, maximum of 2 hours. So, we're at, 11, 12, 13 hours.
No, you're at 1 o'clock. Is that where you're going?
Yeah. Well, we're saying, okay, 16 hours from 6 o'clock you started.
Yeah.
16 hours later is when you can stop.
Yeah.
16 hours later,
Yeah.
from 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. That's what, 6 and then afternoon. 6 That's 10 at night.
10 at least. And that's if you're efficient. So that's working from 6 to 10.
Yeah.
6 to 10. 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's a great idea. FMCSA, ATA, what do they propose all the time? When it comes to going to court and defending the rules and regulations that they want to pass, ELDs, everything they want to pass, what do they always focus on? Fatigue,
Driver safety.
driver safety and fatigue. They are so worried about fatigue. Yet here's a proposal
To make you work.
that would allow you to work
2 more.
2 more hours a day. Are you crazy? Are you fucking... How does that work? You think that you're so focused on driver fatigue, yet you're going to propose a law that allows companies to push their drivers to work 2 more hours a day.
No. They're not gonna allow them to stop after 10 hours.
Okay, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And who's going to agree with it? Everybody who's got their pockets in the fucking law of America.
Whoever the ATA can pay off enough to.
Yep. That makes absolutely no sense to me as to how this is going to make the roads of America safer.
It's not.
Since the introduction of the ELDs, electronic logging devices,
Yeah.
the roads have become more catastrophic than ever before. We've had more catastrophic events happen since ELD, and you can look up the statistics. They're withholding a lot of them.
They are withholding a lot. FMCSA.
FMCSA is withholding information, but you can look up the statistics,
Annual.
their annual statistics.
Yeah.
From the time that ELDs have been mandated
Before.
and enforced until now.
Mhm.
We have had, there's been no reduction in accidents, I can tell you that.
No.
There's actually been an increase in accidents. There's been a decrease in fatalities, but there's been an increase in
Injuries.
accidents,
Oh.
injuries.
Injuries too.
Injuries. Yes. People are in a hurry to get to where they need to go because they're on a clock all the time. We've got the guy in Colorado. We've got the guy that killed all the motorcyclists up in New Hampshire. We've got...
He's a hot shot. He don't count. He's not a real truck driver. He's not a real truck driver, but we'll count him.
He's not a truck driver.
He's not.
No.
He's a hot
But
shot.
what Washington goes on is all CDL holders. Any commercial driver. That means if you have a US DOT number, you are a commercial
We'll
driver.
count him because he had a CDL. Hot shots are not truck drivers.
I
Keep
don't
that
believe
shit
that
straight.
either. That's right. That's absolutely right. And it just goes, you know, it's like tow truck drivers, local vendors that drive little box trucks. They're all CDL drivers and they're all classified into one big group.
Yep.
But we as 18-wheeler drivers are prosecuted by the government for the mistakes that these little organizations are making.
Yeah.
So,
Well, big ones too, but yeah. They're
So-
including all everybody.
it's become a travesty because we've let the government get out of control. The government is enforcing regulations, coming up with regulations. Who has voted on this? Who has said, okay,
This is a good idea.
this is a good idea? Not me. I can guarantee that because I've been driving 23 years. And if I was to look at this proposal, I'd tell them they're out of their minds. They've lost their fucking loop. They're done. I wouldn't have anything. Chris Spears, you know, I mean, seriously. You're so focused on driver fatigue but you're going to allow drivers to work 2 extra hours. What do you think that's going to do? That's going to cause companies to push their drivers even harder.
Yeah.
And they'll be out there exhausted,
Yes.
getting 10 hours sleep and then doing another 16 hours.
10 hours of sleep, nothing. They go take a shower and they go to eat. And
That's right.
then they'll go to sleep.
By the time a driver winds down and everything, he gets 6 hours. You company drivers anyway, not me. You company drivers anyway. They allow you to get 6 hours sleep after you wind down and everything. And then, psh, off you go again. Psh, where's my whip? We need a whip. Psh.
What do you think?
That'd be great. So, okay. Let's go over one more analytical evaluation that we've done.
Okay.
Minimum wage. Drivers are out here now, and the new drivers that are out here now, I know they publicize 50 cents a mile. It's up to 50 cents. Read the fine print. It's up to 50 cents a mile. I know damn well most of you are getting about 30 cents a mile, which is better than when I started. When I started, it was 19 cents a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I could go as fast as I wanted, and freight was always there. So, let's do a little math, which I doubt many of you new drivers do. Minimum wage across America, the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to work 40 hours at McDonald's on the corner of your own local hometown, and then worked an extra 30 hours,
Overtime.
time and a half, which is legally paid to employees
Pretty much everybody
except drivers,
except this industry, yeah.
except this industry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of question if that's legal, but go ahead.
You would make $616 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Be home every night,
Mm-hmm.
do your laundry at your own house, eat your own food.
Yeah.
Well, if you worked at McDonald's, I'm sure you'd get a discount there too, but
Yeah.
you know, $616. All right. Truck driver that runs on a speed limited truck, waits at docks, and
Does 70 hours a week.
gets stuck in traffic and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
works 70 hours a week at 30 cents a mile.
Flat, no overtime.
I'm going to assume, makes an ass out of you and me, but it's an assumption that you're getting about 2,500 miles a week, which puts you at $750 a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's an extra 616 to 750. Let's say 615. That's $135 a week extra. And you're on the road all the time.
And you still gotta buy your own food out there.
You got to buy your own food. You got to pay for your laundry. You got to, I mean, you're never home. Where's the compensation to be driven like a slave? Does that 135 extra dollars pay for that? The frustrations, the aggravations,
Being away from home.
being away from home, away from your kids? No, it doesn't. In my eyes, it wouldn't. I'm an owner-operator. I own my own truck. I do my own thing. I make big money. I know that. But, you know, for you guys just starting out, I'd get out of it ASAP. I wouldn't recommend this job to my worst enemy. And to the FMCSA, the ATA, you know, Chris Spears, even the OOIDA, the OOIDA, you really need to get up on your game, man. You really need to be a little more aggressive with what's going on.
The leader's too timid. He's passive.
Yeah, he is.
Very passive.
And I'll never donate to that cause again. We need a new group, a new
He's not outspoken.
organization that's more aggressive. Now, I'm not saying to be radical. I'm just saying more aggressive. Let's point out the facts, which is what we've done here.
Yeah.
You know, the ATA has a proposal to extend the hours of service from 14 to 16. Do you think that's a good idea? We're worried about fatigue and everything else. That's not the problem out here. The problem is inexperience. It's inexperience. It's allowing private companies to license individuals that have no experience. That's why there's so many accidents out here on the road. You go down to take your driver's exam for your regular driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go? DMV. And who tests you?
Federal employee.
State assigned employee
Examiner, yeah.
examiner. Test test your skills and issues you a license.
Mm-hmm.
That's a state assigned individual.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go for a CDL test,
Mm-hmm.
Werner, C.R.England, C.R.S.T., Swift, who,
Test. Them.
yeah, who gives that test?
Their own private examiner.
Their own private employees. And then what do? They say, "Oh, you'll get used to it. Here, you passed your certification. Bring this down to the driver's license office and they'll issue you a CDL."
Mm-hmm. The one guy, remember
Well,
the...
biased, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The other day, remember he was talking about you wouldn't have to back up to pass your CDO anymore?
Don't have to do what?
He was talking on the CV. And he
Oh,
was,
yeah.
He said you don't even have to take... I don't know what state that was in we were going through.
Yeah, they make you back up in a straight line. Come on.
That's not...
What happened to parallel parking? You gotta parallel park. You gotta know how to... We go to truck stops every day. And guys can't park.
No.
Alright? If you can't park,
Shit. We seen that one. Who was the one that couldn't park at the end? He was the end, the open spot. He only had to back up against one truck. Who was that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember neither. He pulled up like 10 times and he still couldn't get it.
If you can't park a truck, what are you doing out here on the road? That's what these private institutions are putting out here. And if we have any citizens, like regular drivers out here, let's inform you as to how a truck driver gets his driver's license. He goes down, he takes a class for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some within 3 days.
Yeah.
And some private instructor signs them off,
Uh-huh.
goes down to the driver's license office, and gets his CDL.
Yeah.
No experience necessary.
That's right.
And then, a couple months later,
Mhm.
that inexperienced person
Gets to test people himself.
gets to test other people.
Mhm.
So, if you feel safe out here on the road with truck drivers, don't.
Well, they should for other reasons too, because they don't check their stuff. They can have a tire shoot out and just,
That's right.
that's it. You're dead. Because none of them check their stuff. Now and then you'll see some of them check the tires with
That's
a
right.
bat. But
So-
at least they're doing it. But
Anyway, we'll get into that later. Right now, I don't mean to cut you off.
no, you're fine.
We'll get into that later. Let's cut this one off.
Okay.
So,
I'm just saying there's more dangerous things out there.
thank you to the FMCSA for allowing truck drivers to work more for less.
We're not.
No. So, you company drivers, have a good time out there. I hope you enjoy the road. I hope you enjoy working more. And I hope you enjoy being slave drivers.